Hey, how's it going? This is your daily sweet talk for March 2nd, 2025. Knock knock. Who's there? Beats. Beats who? Beats me. Beats the heck out of me. Um, Speaking of Mario, Nintendo Switch 2, the Direct was this morning. So, we had the trailer, and I thought it looked like they didn't really justify the existence of there being a Nintendo Switch 2. Um, it just looked like the same console, a little bigger. There was no new features shown. Oh, the Joy Cons connect to the console differently, whatever. But then that was my stance. Was basically like, no one needs to buy this. This like, let's not have Nintendo uh, get away with like going in this direction of just buy it because we know you're gonna buy it anyway. We don't really need to innovate, but because that's what it seemed like with that first trailer. The direct, I think, the direct this morning, I think, did do a pretty good job of selling the console and like saying what is. I think they did the bare minimum of justifying the existence of this being basically a new console. Um, they didn't show any of that like mouse capability in the first trailer. That's like, to me, that's the biggest new feature in terms of like gameplay innovation. Like, that adds a lot of possible new uh, uh, control elements for the games to take advantage of. I still wish that they were incorporating the touchscreen elements to do something similar to the Wii U. I feel like that's still a really big missed opportunity, but that's there, and that's good. That's new. That's fun. There's the game chat. I don't really care about that as someone who has a game capture card and Discord. I don't really need to use that. But it's interesting, I guess. And then game share. I don't know if this is just going to be on Switch 2. I'm really hoping it'll be on Switch 1, but I'm not going to hold my breath. But specifically, they showed it with Clubhouse Games Switch 1 Live Classics, which I've complained about in the past, as this is probably one of the games I've justified the expense of buying the most from the amount of usage I've got out of it. But it's the sort of game where you need multiple copies to really get the full experience. And now, and they showed it specifically off with this one, you can share copies and get that full experience. That's huge. That's a game changer. So I don't know if I'm hoping that's on Nintendo Switch 1, but yeah. I don't know what the price of the console is. I'm assuming consoles are expensive anyway, so I don't know. As long as it's not like $1,000, then then it's probably the not too expensive. I don't know. So they sold me. I think when they sold me Mario Kart World. I was thinking like, oh, they I don't know how they're gonna justify a new Mario Kart game, but I think they definitely did by like kind of reinventing it more than they ever had. And you can play as the cow from Moo Moo Meadows. That was the first thing where I was like, oh, I might buy a Switch 2, actually. I said I wasn't, but maybe I will. And you can emulate, they have the GameCube games now. Except it was just Wind Waker, which I have on Wii U, so I'm just going to play it on Wii U. But that it could be a big selling point for me potentially as well. So it's like, oh, maybe I am going to get a Switch 2. I don't want to miss out on the Mario Kart World craze. I don't want to miss out on Tomodachi Life, Living the Dream. If that's just gonna be on Switch 2, I'm assuming it's gonna be on both, so that'll probably be fine. But maybe I just buy Switch 2 and stop using my Switch. Probably won't be too expensive, but what will be too expensive, and what I think is the biggest point here, which I think we need to not buy at least the games, the console. See, okay, Mario Kart World is $70, and with the physical edition it's like $80. That's insane. We cannot allow any developers to sell games for this much. I think we actively need to boycott these games. Seriously, this is a game this is a fork in the road. We need to make a stance here. Don't pay this much for games. And so if you're not going to buy the games, then the console is kind of not much use for that either.